listening to the Merriweather Council, a podcast featuring realistic and concise advice for makers in business. I'm your host, Danielle, and I fully believe in and celebrate the reality of gainful self-employment through craft. I can't wait to help you turn your crafty tendencies into profits, so let's get started. You probably have a few things in place that are working together and they feel good and right and it's going great. But you've got gaps in that puzzle that need to be filled in order for that puzzle to be completed. Welcome back, friends, to the Merriweather Council podcast. Today we are talking about why you are having a hard time accomplishing the goals that you have set in your business and what you need in order to make reaching those goals a little bit easier. Accomplishing the goal that you have for your business is kind of like doing a puzzle that is all one color that comes with a lot of extra pieces. Even if you've never done a puzzle that's all one color, you can imagine how difficult it would be to accomplish. It's very difficult to pin down which pieces go where in that puzzle in order to complete that puzzle when you have a lot of extra pieces to look at and sift through, particularly when there is no picture to guide. So you probably have started on your puzzle, aka your business and the goal you have for your business. And you probably have a few things in place that are working together and they feel good and right and it's going great. But you've got gaps in that puzzle that need to be filled in order for that puzzle to be completed. And you aren't sure what to put in those places, and you're probably, at least to some extent, a little bit frustrated about that. The reason that you're having a hard time filling these spaces in is you don't have a clear picture of what your goal is. If that puzzle represents the goal you have for your business, it's very hard to fill it in if you do not have a clear understanding of what you're trying to accomplish, if you don't have a clear big picture. So you cannot effectively create a strategy for getting to completion without having some idea of what completion will look like. So that's where all of those extra pieces come into play. All of these 30,000 or so additional pieces that you have in your orbit to complete your puzzle with represent different options that you could plug in to those empty spaces in your business to outfit you for your unique big picture goal. You only need some of those pieces, but you don't know which ones they are. So many different things that we've heard work for other people distract us and give us options. Those are those other pieces. So all of these things that work for other people seem like really good options because they've worked for other people. And you have no idea which of those things to choose for yourself because they all sound like equally good ideas. But you need a clear big picture goal for yourself in order to make those selections. You cannot make good decisions about where to spend time in your business, and you cannot accomplish your goals until you have a clear big picture strategy. Unless and until you have that, you're always going to feel overwhelmed by options of what to do. As autonomous humans with unique circumstances and priorities and desires and wants and needs, everyone's big picture is going to be different, which means everyone's strategy and combination of pieces is going to be different. The pieces that complete your puzzle are not going to be the same as the pieces that complete mine. The pieces that complete your puzzle are completely unique to you. That combination of pieces is unique to you. But we both need to know how to select the right pieces for ourselves and our own businesses. Your picture will change, your goals will change, and you'll need to know how to pick the right pieces to get to that new image, that new goal. This happens over and over time. You need to always know how to build the strategy for whatever the picture currently is. So just as important as finding the right pieces to complete your big picture right now is having the skills to know how to do that effectively in the future, how to select from those pieces so that you can keep doing it over and over as your business evolves. It's very easy to get distracted when you're not sure what your big picture strategy is. So that's the first step. What is the big picture? And then build the strategy. Until you understand what you actually need, everything is going to sound like a good idea. You'll keep getting distracted because you're not clear on that big picture. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Merriweather Council podcast. If you are enjoying the podcast and the topics and conversations here stir up additional questions for you, such as, okay, Danielle, I get it, no opt-in coupons. What should my opt-in be? Or things are going really well for me in my business, but I don't want to get complacent. Now what? Or, for the love, I hate Instagram, but what else is there? How do I market my business in a way that doesn't feel horrible? If those are the kind of questions that the podcast stirs for you, then I'm excited to tell you that those are the exact things we sort out with you inside of the Council. The Council is our membership experience for handmade business owners who want to grow their business alongside other like-minded entrepreneurs in the makerspace. The Council is where all of our new exclusive content is housed and where conversations happen daily about all manner of business betterment. The Council is where makers in business can get peer, expert, and mentor support in growing the business they want to run, no matter what that looks like. If you are a maker in business who is tired of Googling or has discovered that the questions you have are not even Googleable anymore, then you are a future Council member. If you are someone who is committed to your vision and mission, or you want help and support, then you are a future Council member. And if you want to become a more empowered, confident CEO of your business, then you are a future Council member, and I would love to have you join our Council community. Are you interested? Visit jointhecouncilnow.com for all the details and to take a behind-the-scenes tour and find out what we do and how we do it inside of the Council. That's jointhecouncilnow.com for all the details. Now let's get back to the show. I am proof that this is so real, right? I was confused for several years. My business started just like everyone else's, messy and not concise and unfocused. I did eventually, of course, hit my stride in my business and with selling my products. That did happen eventually. But along the way, I had amassed so much information and pursued so many various things simply because they had worked for other people, all in an effort to grow and diversify my business. That's all I needed was to hear it worked for someone else, and I was good. I'll learn that. I never knew what my big picture was, so I couldn't possibly pick the correct things to spend time on that would help me get where I was going because I didn't know where I was going. So over the course of several years, I did a lot of random things in my business. I had a feature account on Instagram because Shalene Johnson said that was a good idea. And maybe it was, but I didn't need to do that. I ran paid ads on blogs to my Etsy shop. I paid for gift guide placement. I spent hours creating pins on Pinterest for posts that maybe didn't really support my goal because I didn't know what it was. And I saw some success here and there, little bursts of success, but I did not see major changes or sustained success, or what I would consider success in my business, until I started to connect these random dots. I needed the big picture and I needed the strategy. And until I had that, I was just flailing about. So I was super duper on the struggle bus. I constantly felt like I was stuck because it didn't make sense to me. It did not make any sense. I had amassed so much information, and certain things were kind of sort of working here and there, like I said, but they weren't working together. There was no cohesion between all these things I was doing, and everything felt scattered. For me, I had been doing tasks, not implementing strategies, and I was tired. I was tired of just doing things. And all of the puzzle pieces or options for what I could do to fill in my business just became tasks on a never-ending to-do list. I wasn't able to audit which of those options were any good for me and my picture, my goal, because I didn't know what it was. I did not have direction or intention for what I was doing, just things to check off a list or things to accomplish because they seemed right or smart or had worked for someone else in the past. And this is the worst part. I would then start to feel guilty about the time I spent because I wasn't getting anywhere. I would feel energy depleted from that. And then eventually, I had no energy left. You cannot run a thriving business that way. It's not possible. Thriving businesses don't have energy depleted CEOs, right? Like, you just cannot. It doesn't happen. It's not possible. You have to protect that energy. You must protect your energy because your bold, non-traditional, precious dream business deserves a well-educated and empowered and confident CEO, and that person is you. And confidence, empowerment, and education do not come from chasing shiny objects around the internet and doing a million things and waiting to see what sticks. Your business needs you, the CEO, to be on point. It needs that. And that cannot happen if you are constantly having your energy depleted and your attention fragmented. It's just not possible. If you are ready to trim down that never-ending to-do list of tasks and start implementing strategies that are actually aligned to your business and your unique goals, then you are a future council member, and I would love to have you join our council community. All the information about the council, which is, of course, our membership experience for makers in business, can be found at jointhecouncilnow.com. So pop over there to learn more, because again, if this sounds like you and you want to be a more confident, empowered, and educated CEO, you are a future council member. In any event, you need to be aware of how detrimental it is to just have all of these things to do and to just have things to do on your list. You need to know so much more than how to do things. You need to know if to, why to, and when to. To learn the skills that you need in order to identify that stuff, you have to have that. That's proactive. And proactive is the closest you're ever going to get to being in control as a business owner, so don't sleep on it. Trust me. To get the show notes for today's episode and for a list of all episodes and their show notes, please visit meriwethercouncilblog.com/podcast.